Why is the first half so different than the second half? And you didn't even make changes in the halftime. And still, if we look at the clips that I'm about to show you, you can see that first half you give away the ball too easily and too often, unforced errors and panic in the box and all that. And then second half, I'll make a chapter there for YouTube so you can skip to it. The second half is your passing is so beautiful, and that's how you save the game. I don't understand why it happens so much that you start off really bad and you end really good, or that you start off really good in the first half and the second half sucks. Let's dive into it together. Here is the game analysis. So let's get into it. At first I thought it was going to be the same video as last week because there's so many unforced errors in the first half. That's why you get the goal against, etc. But second half is very different. So I think that makes for a very different video anyways. And we can all learn something from that. And we know it happens. Sometimes your first half sucks and your second half is great, or the other way around. Yeah, so first example. So your opponent has the ball, passes it to the box, you recover it really quickly, and then this, bam. Why pass to the guy who's covered, right? So you get it, and now you have the option. It's good defending, you get the ball, but look where the space is. If we look at the radar, there's space behind you. And instead we choose to pass to Hernandez, who's clearly covered. So we give the ball back immediately, so the guy can basically go on attacking, and he's still in position to attack, right? So that's risky. The rest is fine. I think your recovering with your CBs is good. You use a second man press and you close the gap with the goalie, and then you're lucky that he passes it offside, but he passes it to the side because you cover the passing lane. So you do all that really well. Your defense is on par. It's just that you give him the ball when you don't need to give him the ball. So you give away an opportunity for him, and then he passes it offside, which is good. But then we get the ball and we do the same thing, right? Hernandez is just covered. So here, when you get the ball, we have to look at the radar and see who's free. Or just use your time that you have. See how much space you still have before your defender is there. But you're a bit rushed. Still get the ball. So that's good. And then we do this, which is kick and rush. I kind of like it. But I would say, if you look at the radar again, the open pass is to your CDM and then to your right winger. Your left winger is covered, and he makes just a poor choice in turning. But the open space would be here on the right side of the pitch, right? So instead, I would say don't pass to your left winger here, but pass to your CDM. So then the next example, we get the ball in midfield with Bonmati, our cam, and we L1 trigger Reinders for a run, our CDM. And instead, I think the computer thinks, you see Bale is selected. So I think the computer thinks you want to pass to him. But regardless, Reinders is also covered. So all your opponent does, if we look back at it, all he does is move sideways if we go slowly. And he covers that pass. He recognizes that you L1 trigger, and he just covers that pass. So yeah, we shouldn't pass it there because he's just covering the pass. And then a great save by Van der Sar, but Carlos Alberto messes it up because you pass to your right winger, Ibarbo, which you shouldn't do there. You have the option to either pass it, maybe make it a corner, or pass it over the sideline, if you can do that, or just walk into that space. But as soon as you get the ball here, you already shoot it away in panic, basically, worried that you get a goal against. But now you give him the opportunity because that ball's never going to reach your right winger who's on the halfway line, right? So yeah, now you're going to have to recover. You just killed offside because of Carlos Alberto is still there on the ground. So this is a great opportunity for him to maybe make it a distance shot because he's not covered, or run through it and score a goal against you. So in this case as well, I would say with Carlos Alberto here, just maybe walk to the corner flag and see if the guy can tackle you or make it a goal kick, or maybe just pass the ball over the sideline and get everybody grouped before you continue. And then you have a pretty solid attack where you don't score from, but there's some good attacks going on in this game. It always sounds a bit sour when I just look at what's going wrong, but we're here to learn from each other, right? So we can see what we do wrong. What we do well is nice to look at too. I'll do that too one time. But in this case, the counter attack here is basically the same thing, and this time it leads to a goal. So you cover the passing lanes, and then Carlos Alberto gets the ball, and immediately you just pass it out to Reinders, who's clearly covered. So we should never do that. Instead, I would say just keep the ball and walk to the corner flag. Give yourself some time to breathe before you make the choice on what to do, and look at the radar, see where the space is. And that's again behind you and not in front of you in this case, or in front of you along the sideline. So yeah, just because of the panicking, that's why we get the goal against, and that's such a shame. And then this is where you do it well. This is a counter-attack, and with a great save again from Van der Sar. But now you keep the ball. Do you see what you're doing? You give yourself space. Let's look at that again. Carlos Alberto gets the ball, and he just slowly walks to the sideline, giving yourself a breather and a glance at the radar to see what your next move is going to be. This is so much better. So he's never going to pressure that. So and then it's halftime. I always take the chance in halftime to look at the opponent's positioning and formation and see if there's anything I want to adjust, see if one of my guys is very tired maybe already, just to keep it in mind. And then a beautiful attack with a pass to Eto'o, run beautifully timed. This is where you could use the L2 shielding. The reason why I started this channel, right guys? Remember, this is why you use the L2 shielding in an offensive way. So it gives you time before Beraldo gets blocked. It gives you time and opens up the space to actually make a move and try to score the goal. I'll see if I can put a card up here or put it in the description so you can look at that video if you haven't seen it already, because that's a good trick to know. And then the rest of the video I sped it up a little bit so you can see that your passing is so much better now. Your possession is much longer. You don't give the ball away immediately. You look where the open man is. Maybe somehow all the passes arrive, but you also recycle the ball and you walk into space and you think before you pass it away. So there's no more panic. Beautiful goal. Nice goal. So you take control of the game just because your passing gets better in the second half. So this is like your brother is playing now, or like your little brother was playing before. You know what I mean? Feels like a different person. So yeah, I'll let this run so we don't, it can go on for like 10 more minutes, but I don't want to waste your time during your commute watching this to work on a Friday morning. So I'll let this run so we can see that the passing is much better. Just wanted to remind you that if you send me a link to a video to analyze, please make sure you show me the control on screen, because then I know better what buttons you press. It's just easier to follow for us what you're thinking and what you're trying to do at certain times. And it would be, oh, there you go. Did you see? I hadn't seen that before. There was a high ping or a ping jitter. So I guess maybe second half the ping is more on your side than it was on the first half, because now your passes do get there. Well, in the first half they just didn't get there much. But that's always a kind of a guess. I made a video about ping quality. You should watch that too. But yeah, if you send me a video, make sure you show me your tactics, your aggressive line, etc. And also, are they on box to box? Are they, what's the tactics behind your formation? And show me the formation as well. And then put the controller on screen so we can see what is up. But if you look at the passing second half, this is quite good, man. Clearly, you're a very good player when the connection is good and when the passes arrive. First half, you just gave it away a little bit, but second half is so much better. And a very nice goal near the end of the game. Nice. So thanks for watching. If you want me to analyze your video, just send it over, send me a link. You can email it to fcgrinds@gmail.com or just link it down below, and I'll be happy to do yours. Cheers, mate. Have a good day.